Okay, hello everybody and welcome to Soul Portal Journeys. We are in the middle of healing and thriving. That's been our theme for all of July and all into August. And I'm Renee Varnador. For those who don't know me, I'm here with my friends Carrie and Una, and I'm expecting another friend to join us here soon. But we're going to go ahead and do what we always do, which is sing in the archangels. So I'm going to share my screen in case there are people that don't know the words to the song yet. Okay, so we're really today what we're doing, in case you just kind of popped in and said, what? It's a new moon in Leo ceremony. We had the new moon yesterday, and we're also having Lionsgate. We've got Lionsgate yesterday, and we're going to talk more about what Lionsgate is and what Lionsgate isn't. We're going to have a ceremony. We need all this stuff for the ceremony, but we're going to stand up now and call in the 7 directions. And guess what? East is over here now. So I'm going to, stand east. I'm in a new house, and east gets to be over here. So here we go. Spirits of the East, and inspiration, Archangel Raphael, please come. Spirits of the South, fiery creative spirits, Archangel Michael, please come. Spirits of the West, watering, loving spirits, Archangel Gabriel, please come. Spirits of the North, clearing spirit, Archangel Uriel, please come. Spirits of below, Mother of potentiality, Archangel Sandalphon, please come. Spirits of above, for the sky perspective change, Archangel Raziel, please come. Spirits of within, heart space gifts, Archangel Hanael, please come. Okay, it seems like I can't remember the words when I'm not in my old house, so that's pretty sad. I should have rehearsed, right? Okay, so now we're going to do we're going to clear the 7 main chakras, starting with the root chakra, which is Lamb, and I'm over here with the harmonium. So here we go. Lamb, 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 Okay. Okay, so we are going to pull a card and see where that card might be on the map to kind of give us a little bit more focus for what we're going to talk about for the ceremony for Lionsgate and the new moon. So we got two things going on, but it's really one ceremony because the two relate to each other. Carrie's got a question before I pull the card. So go, Carrie.
Okay, your sound was kind of muted there until that last thing you said. So if you can stay in that position or something, it would be good.
Oh, really? Okay, so you couldn't hear me back there at all?
No, when you sat down, I couldn't hear you clearly, but now I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that kind of feedback. Okay. 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 Here we go. This is the lava card. Why do you think we got the lava card? Okay, so we're in the middle of Leo season. Carrie, you got an idea why we might have gotten the lava card today?
Well, love is all about creation and destruction, and all about the new. So,
Mm-hmm.
the moon.
Yep, and this is a very potent, powerful new moon because it's also got a square to Uranus and Taurus, and anytime something squares to the planet Uranus, that's the planet of change, like abrupt, sudden change. And so, really, we've kind of been preparing for a while that one chapter in our lives is closing and another chapter is opening. And so today we are really going to be focusing on the vision of the new chapter and what's opening, as we're really releasing and letting go of the past. We've been working on letting go of the past, letting go of past patterns, letting go of past things that we thought we were going to be doing, revisioning and re-seeing the way things actually are going to work out, for us with the new future that we couldn't possibly have known. How would we know that, I could be talking to, be having a class with, somebody in North Carolina and somebody while I'm in Mexico and talking to somebody in my hometown, San Diego, so at the same time. Who would have thought, I mean, there's probably going to be Brenda from Canada watching this later. How could I have known years ago when I was creating my dreams of having my own stage and having my own platform and talking to people about what's really going on in their heart, that in the really true essence of who they are on a deep level? Who would have thought I would ever be doing that? Because we didn't have Zoom in 1957 when I was born. So, I just thought I was going to be on stage on the same stage as my mom, and I did, and I was. But I also had the feeling I would be talking to people around the world. So I would be on world stages, and guess what? I get to stay home and do it. I mean, how cool is that? So anyway, blah, blah, blah. So we've got the lava card, fiery. We're in a fire sign right now. We're in Leo. We'll be in Leo until August 22nd. The new moon was in Leo. The moon moves pretty fast. The moon's already gone on to Virgo. Carrie.
I'm thinking that on the soul portal map, this goes to creativity.
Okay, yes, because we're looking. We've already had the explosion. We've already had the clearing. We've already had all of this, and now we're really in the creative process, because this lava actually is now jumping into the ocean. And so once that lava that jumped into the ocean cools, it's going to be the island. It's going to just be a larger island now. So it's we're creating brand new stuff. Not, from what's already been has exploded. We've already had it. And now we're looking at, oh, okay, this wound, this craziness, this explosion and this disruption in my life is now hitting the ocean, cooling down, and creating land. So I guess I get to walk on the new land. So we can talk about, we can vision that, what is it like to walk on the new land? Una is very busy cultivating a piece of land where she walks in a very spiritual, focused manner. She walks 2 labyrinths that she discovered in her hometown that needed her special loving care, and so she's walking on new earth, and so but all of us, you know, so that's kind of a metaphor for all of us because we're all not. I mean, it'd be nice to go walk a labyrinth, but what are we talking about as far as building our lives and building a vision for our life in whatever area feels like it needs to be new. So we're looking at that and we're putting it in creativity. So that's what's happening here. So we're talking new moon, and new moon is basically we're in the dark of the moon for a couple days just before we actually hit the new moon, and the new moon hits when the sun in this particular case the sun was in 16 degrees of Leo, and when the moon that was in the dark of the moon also hit 16 degrees of Leo, that's like the moment of the new moon. So we're looking at 6:42 a.m. I think on yesterday, on Sunday, as the actual perfect point of the new moon. And Marissa's here. Hello, Marissa. Nice to see you. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're well enough to join us. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm a little late. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we are looking at this is our card right now. And Carrie, I'm like, oh no, it's an explosion. No, Carrie said, no, it's creativity. We're focusing on this part of this lava that is falling into the ocean and creating new land on which we can walk. So that's what we're focusing on. We're looking at the vision that this new moon is offering us. The new moon peaked yesterday, and yet for 2 days after the new moon, the same kind of energies are available for us to work with. So here are some questions that you can write down right now in your journal, because I know you guys know, to always bring your journal, whether I actually have it listed or not. So if you want to, what is being conceived is the question that we always can take into meditation. If we take it into meditation and we take it into the eye of the heart, we can look at what is being conceived, like what is being giving birth, what dormant seeds are about to sprout, is another way of that, what two opposite things, yin yang energies are going to be like, boom, come together and something is conceived. Another way of looking at conception. How do I want to grow this month in leadership? Now, why am I talking about leadership? I usually don't. But Leo, the lion, the regal kingly leader, there's an influence, that kind of influence in this moon. So we can think about our leadership. We can also think about our generosity, which is a Leo trait. And we can think about our self-expression. So yeah, so our generosity, I'm usually not that generous when people are playing musical instruments on the street or in a restaurant. I'm usually kind of annoyed, but I really decided not to be annoyed on Sunday and actually sit back and enjoy this guitar player who was not the best guitar player I've ever heard in my life, but was certainly good, and decided to tip him. So that was like, oh my God, I was affected by the Leo moon. So it's just like noticing which is a good thing. I mean, a generosity and a generous spirit is a good thing. But, the bad thing was that I usually judge the musicians, which I didn't realize I was doing until I actually tipped this guy. So it's kind of, notice where you could be a little more generous is what what I'm hinting at here. So, and then our self-expression. So Leo, Leos get a bad rap for being like over dramatic and conceited and full of themselves and huge ego maniacs and stuff. And it's because they have so much pride, and their pride gets wounded so easy. So, but at the same time, Leo is also in a positive light. If you get out of that shadow of Leo I just described, it's saying, okay, this is me. This is from my heart. What do I really want? What do I really want to express? What do I want to express with the sun within me? So if we're going to think about Leo is the sun, the sign of the sun and Leo are the same, like different planets and different signs are aligned. Cancer is aligned with the moon. Leo happens to be aligned with the sun. And so we can think about the sun energy. So where in the body do we feel that sun energy? And it is actually in our solar plexus. So let's just pop back up here for a second. If we want to get more in touch with our Leo, with our lion between now and August 22nd, when we're in Leo season, what happens is that new moons initiate a whole season and a whole sequence, and whatever is lined up happening at the new moon is going to still be in effect for the whole cycle, the next lunation, the whole month. So here we're talking about the solar plexus chakra. So right here, if we want to get in touch with our Leo, if we want to get in touch with our sun, if we want to feel our light, we can feel it here. We can put both of our hands, you can't see me do it, but we can put both of our hands on our solar plexus chakra, send energy to that point, and then just feel and receive and get a sense that the Leo sun is shining there. Or we can also sing Ram 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 several times, and that would be fun. We might even do that while we're in ceremony. So there we go. So those are the qualities of Leo for these new moons that we can meditate on in the next couple of days. One of the things I like to do is I like to look at the major arcana cards. And I happen to have a sun sign of Leo. Surprise, surprise. So this is the major arcana tarot card for the sun sign Leo. Okay, so if I looked up what all of the planets, which card relates to what planet, I'm gonna find out that number 8, hello, 8-8. We just had 8-8, the 8th month. But we just had the numerology, the magical numerology of the 8. And you can see the 8 right here above her head, the infinity sign. And so this is in like an infinite amount of love, an infinite amount of courage. Notice the courage that it takes to look inside the lion's mouth, whatever the lion's mouth happens to be. This is a metaphor for that scary thing in your life, that new territory that you get to step out on. So we have an abundance of courage. We have an abundance of love. I can have an abundance of friendship. We can have an abundance of money. We can have an abundance of inspiration, an abundance of opportunity, an abundance of freedom and creativity. So all of this is like the infinity sign is just telling us that we are standing in abundance. And so this is the strength card. And this is really a lot of this new moon energy on this Lion's Gate energy. So I'm moving now, talking about what's happening with the moon in Leo, and during Leo season, and being able to move now. We want to develop a healthy sense of ego. The shadow Leo, like I was saying, is too prideful, but the healthy sense of ego is just like, who I am, my identity, what I'm bringing forward, what I'm purposely choosing to create. So we have a very conscious moment of creation right now with this new moon, because we had the planet Uranus so prominent we have an opportunity for change. So we want to develop a healthy sense of identity and what we're moving forward with. And I had a dream last night where I closed the book on one chapter, and I like opened the cards on another personality or another chapter or another archetypal pattern to explore as an identity. So knowing that I am actually beyond, who my true essence is actually beyond archetypal patterns, but still, as I am an ego in this body, I get to walk around in try on different archetypal patterns. And Annabelle's here from Australia. Woohoo! And Annabelle, what I'm going to be saying to people about the star Sirius just doesn't even apply to Annabelle because she lives in Australia, and you can see the star Sirius from Australia all the time. So here we go. So what is people, you guys have probably heard about Lionsgate. Everybody's talking about Lionsgate. And what is it actually? Some people say it's when Ceres is close to our sun. Astrologers, some of them say that. Astronomers who are much more scientifically minded will say that no, the sun is no more close to Sirius on 8/8 every year than it ever is. And so the actual physical distance between our sun and Ceres is not what Lionsgate's about. And yet it can still, the intuitives are correct in that we still feel a closeness in our energy can align to the energies that exist on the star, with the star Sirius, and we can still receive. So in that sense, being close to receiving. So I used to think of what astronomers and very scientific, what they said, when it's this is the measurement, that's what it is. And then intuitive, sometimes I would think, oh my gosh, these people are just full of woo and, oh my gosh. And yet they're right also. So both really, I didn't realize that both camps could possibly be right until I had a visit from the moon just the night before I went into a Reiki class. And the moon came to me and said, where the scientists say I am, the distance of where the scientists say I am is correct. And where the Vedas, the ancient Hindu scriptures, say I am is correct. And I went, really? So scientists are right and the Vedas are right? And I've been tearing my hair out, upset over the fact that I couldn't believe the Vedas because that wasn't scientific. And now the moon came to me inside my heart and told me, no, see, I can be inside your heart. I can be where the scientists say, I can be where the Vedas say. And I was like, oh, okay. So I mean, just kind of realize that there's more than one truth, although I really like talking to the moon inside my heart. I now have a preference for that. So here is so what is this word? Okay, heliarchal, rise of Sirius. Okay, now where is that? I defined it on another picture. Here it is. Here's the other picture. Okay, the heliarchical rising of the star Sirius occurs the day on which the star or a planet rises exactly with the sun is a conjunction. Okay, so we had a conjunction. The new moon is a conjunction of the sun and the moon. Okay, that happened in Leo. But as we cannot see that star or planet because the sun's light is too bright, we must wait for it to rise ahead of the sun before we can see it. The day it becomes visible is the day of its heliarchical rising. And that's what we're celebrating with the Lionsgate. This is what the Lionsgate's all about. So this is actually, the term Lionsgate is something that's very contemporary. It's a new mythology. But it's pretty powerful because a lot of people believe in it and meditated yesterday. And so it was a very powerful day to meditate because everybody was meditating. The more people meditate on have a meditation going on the planet, the stronger the meditation is. But it's kind of discovered that the middle pyramid, this isn't actually a good picture, but there's like the pyramids in Giza, Egypt. The middle pyramid is actually not the tallest one, but on 8-8, the star Sirius is directly above that pyramid. We are actually not going to see the rising of Sirius in the northern hemisphere in San Diego or Baja California until August 8th. August 11th. So right here, where I'm looking at Los Angeles is about the same latitude and longitude as San Diego or Baja. Now, I have no idea what North Carolina is, which is why I included this also, so that you could look at the longitudes. These are dates and the degrees. Okay, so we're looking at longitude degrees. So if you know your longitude, you know what date you can go out during at sunrise, like just before sunrise, you can still see the stars. Once the sun rises, you can't see them anymore. But if you go out just as the sun's rising, you'll be able to see the star Sirius, prominent, bright, the brightest thing in the sky. So that's what that's all about. But just being able to tune into, this is a good time for us on the West Coast here on August 11th. It's a good time to tune into the energies of that rising star Sirius, or Annabelle can go out in her backyard anytime at sunrise and see the star Sirius. But so different. So that's that. I talked about that. I talked about this. Okay, so this is an artist's rendering of the star Sirius and its twin, its companion star, which is also relatively bright. So we can see kind of, we can be meditating on between now and August 11th on the energies, on any new energies, any new inspirations, any new insights, any new blasts of light. So we're looking at our light, we're looking at our vision, and we're kind of re-seeing, and we're realizing that we are standing in abundance. It's the whole energy of infinity. We are standing in abundance. So we're gonna head into ceremony. These are some of the things you're gonna need for the ceremony. You're gonna need something to clear your aura. I have aura spray. You can have, sticks or fiery Palo Santo or sage or whatever. You can have a crystal, like a selenite crystal wand. That would be cool. Have a candle. I'm going to light this candle in a second. If you want to have a rattle or a drum, that'd be great. If you have a long scarf, that would be good. Oh, somebody else just came. Who came? Who's here? We've got somebody else here. Who are they? I don't know. Okay, so here, you have a long scarf for this ceremony, and then sacred water. So do something, you want to do something to make your water sacred, either by having a crystal in it, or this is water from Chalice Wells. So I'm going to put a couple of drops of the Chalice Wells water. That was more than a couple, but usually I have something that just puts a couple drops in there. Okay, or you can, if you know Reiki, you can put the Reiki symbol and tell it to go in there. So do whatever it is you need to do. Maybe you can pray over your water. Okay, you just give it energy, give it love. and put your water. So you've made your water sacred, and then have something like dark chocolate. I like 90%, but if you're not up to 90%, maybe 70% is dark for you. But just, or something sweet if you don't have like any sugar at all, maybe a piece of cinnamon or something. So here's, we're going to use this after we do work with the music and the dancing and the rattles and the scarves and stuff. We're thinking we might know what our intention is that we're going to set, because on a new moon, we always set an intention. We set a new moon intention. And we're going to clear first to set that intention. These are some of the Leo-based intentions. When you have a new moon in the sign of Leo, these are some of the Leo themes that get activated around this time of year. So any of these themes, any themes you have around these can all get activated. If you want a bigger, we were talking about finding the sun, the Leo sun within you, and that is increasing your sense of radiance, which then in turn increases your sense of self-confidence. It's also when you're willing to be radiant, to show your radiance, you're really shining your light. That's what Leos do, they shine their light. We have a card that's all about fiery creativity, love and romance, passion and purpose, courage. So all of these things. And then it's a time to also honor your own sun sign. So if your sun is in Gemini, you can honor the qualities of your own sun sign too. So these are all intention based. The sun is like your daytime personality, how you're interacting in the material world. And any questions before we head into ceremony? We're going to dance, sing, play music, create figure eights. Now, figure eights, those little, are really healing. We're going to create those, and then we're going to journal and share. So anybody have a question before we start this? I'm going to stop share. I'm going to go to gallery view. Okay, so if anybody has a question, unmute now or forever hold your peace. You think, okay, everybody here has been in ceremony with me before, so they know what's going to happen. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is clear our aura, because we're seriously setting an intention that's not only going to last for the next month, but probably, because of the alignments in the sky, going to be going on for the next 2.5 years. So here we go. So we've got that, and then it's time to light our candle. And as we light our candle, we want what we set. I always want whatever intention I'm setting to be what is rising up as a soul-based intention, as opposed, I'm in my life, I'm at the point where I am done with my ego-based intentions and did nothing but cause me grief. So I just want soul-based intentions. They seem to be working a lot better. So I'm just going to be like seeing what soul-based intention is rising. So that's what I'm lighting my candle for. Okay, so I'm holding this light for myself and for each of you. And I'm just like shining, so that we're all shining our light. We can focus on that. I really, if I'm going to focus on anything, I want to shine my light brightly to the point where I am actually encouraging, the word courage is in there, encouraging other people to shine their light brightly also. So that's part of my intention setting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on the music that I know YouTube will not shut me down over because I own it. And it is The Song of My Soul by Eric. Okay, so when you feel a sense of completion, then you can pick up your journal and start writing. Okay, is there anyone who would like to share what they have discovered is their intention, their new vision for their new heart-based, soul-based vision moving forward? Anybody? Carrie, go ahead.
I found that I was really thinking about the creation and, the planting and then drawing up. And I felt like I was doing that while I was doing the movement and bringing it up to the sky.
Beautiful.
And then I thought about our co-creating with the universe, and that each of our creating is unique, and we all have our own unique time and space for that creation. And that all is available from the universe for whatever we create without impinging on anybody else's creative space. So I thought that was really a neat concept, a neat idea.
Beautiful. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Carrie. Okay, so Carrie just stated her vision, her intention. So Carrie, as you are, think of what you just said about your intention again. And as you do that, drink your sacred water as a way of bringing that intention in. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to share? Thank you, Carrie. Okay, Marissa's going to share.
As I well, first I found it interesting that it's the sacral chakra. Now I know I just had surgery, and they physically actually like pump you with gas to take a better look inside and have more space. But I've been having to, release this gas that it's built up inside of my torso. Today is finally better. But it's been troubling over the last 3 days because it's sharp and painful. But I thought it was interesting that it's the sacral chakra, and that's exactly where most of this gas buildup kind of happened, right? So as I was just telling my sister-in-law, I said, I feel I've been moving around too much, even though I've been moving very, gently. It still might have been a little bit too much for me today. So when we were working with our scarves, um, as I stood up, but then I thought, oh, I should sit down, because
Good.
after that, once I sat down and continued moving the scarf around, I felt a gentleness, that there is a gentleness, a gentle conception that I have something, and I'm not sure yet what I'm conceiving. I see an egg and I don't know what's in it, but I know there is something alive in it, and there's something that's going to break open, but I have to give it just the right temperature and just the right, air, and the conditions need to be right. So for it to hatch. So what I have is an egg, and it's delicate and it's gentle. And that for me feels that to be gentle with myself, and physically, and of course, spiritually, and everything. So so that's what I have right now, is that gentleness. Like, I actually feel like this is probably why I chose this scarf, which is kind of furry.
Yeah.
I went in and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to grab this one. No, I should grab this one. And so it feels very gentle and comforting for me.
That's
So
good.
that's what I have right now with that. So we'll see what it is as I continue to focus on the next few days.
Okay,
For
beautiful.
the 11th,
Beautiful.
and get a little bit more on that gentleness for me.
That's good. That
For
sounds
others,
great.
yeah.
That sounds very exciting.
Right.
So go ahead and take a drink of your sacred water, and as you're thinking about your intention, and just let it come even more. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And Una or Annabelle, do either of you guys want to share anything? Looks like Una, go ahead.
Well, you know what I'm working on. And I hadn't been planning to be here today, but I came down, a friend gave me I'm going to listen to the replay and do my writing. But a friend had given me this kind of a weed tilling type of device. So I came down this morning intending to do this inner circle rather than the outer circles I have been doing, which are so large.
Right.
Thinking that would be a better place to start in the center, where it's a more attainable goal.
Right.
And instead of having to kill myself on the outer rings there. But so I came down this morning intending to do it, and then realized that in just the tilling action of it, like I have to drive that tool down, was a lot in itself. So I said, well, let me wait till the afternoon and I'll be able to walk down, since I won't be laden with all those tools. And then I could just work from here, which is so peaceful. So I brought this nice little bedspread that has roses, and I'm pretending I'm sitting on my bed of roses.
Beautiful.
And just I just feel so connected here. As you know, when we got it walkable, it was the same day that the Chartres Labyrinth Cathedral labyrinth became walkable again since the pandemic. So I just feel like the energy here is connected. And
yes.
So I've been working on my new moon stuff, and I intend to do more with this when I return home after this job is completed. But when you were singing and calling the things in, I decided just spontaneously to walk it again for a second time today. So I did the walk in, so that when we're done here, then I'll bring it out. And,
all right. Okay. All right. Una following her own heart and her own sense of ritual and what she needs to be doing. So awesome. Kudos to you, Una.
And I have this sweet little thing.
Okay, so that's your sacred water?
That is, yeah. Okay. I forgot that I didn't realize I had it with me. But
okay, so go ahead and sip some. Think about the intention you have right now, and go ahead and sip some. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And Annabelle, go ahead. How are you?
Hello. I wasn't sure I'd be awake, and then I woke up, and I was so happy to come. So yes, I've been, spending a lot of time thinking about what are my intentions, because there's so much changes happening in my life as well. So I want to make sure I bring you. Actually, what came up just was like, I'm going to write a book, and I know it might not happen too quickly. I've been writing chapters. I think I'm committing to write another chapter, which is writing about my story and what is come up in my story. So actually, this month, between the last new moon, the full moon, and the new moon, what came up was a lot of ancestral past life wounding about the feminine not being able to express herself.
Yeah.
And to really step into my power and really start speaking more and have my message really well packaged in a way, so my message go out there and is spread. And I've got friends, he makes the little, what's it called, and anyway, it's not an amulet. I just got it yesterday. I was so excited, and actually, and it's for fearless communication.
Okay, cool.
So I feel that I want to bring into my life whatever's next. Like a new home, a new love. The business to grow in a way that I can really be in my fearless communication and spread my message of healing and helping women to find their power again.
Yeah.
And actually yesterday I was doing a workshop, and then just before I said, I pick a card for my group. I did a meditation in my group, and then I pick a card, and I said, I'm going to pick a card for me. And actually this last week I picked the lion. I was so happy the lion came to me, and I'm like, oh, I'm the lion as well.
There you are.
Then yesterday what came was divine alchemy, and Mary Magdalene came to me, and I was in tears when the card came to me because it was so profound.
Yeah.
The way it came, it was so profound. I was really much on a high, really high, and then it was this deep reverence of the divine feminine. And because I got this vase, and really I wanted to buy a white vase, and then the girl, I said, oh, you do whatever you want. She made one for me with a heart on the breast, and then she said, oh, I've got black, I give you black, and I got the black Madonna, and I always wondered why, but then I know why now, more and more, the way it came to me, and
Right.
So yes, it's pretty profound, actually, I think, and I'm in a very good place, after being really initiation after initiation through June and July. Oh my God, I've had so much initiation. I've had so much challenges to alchemize, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And especially in the speaking, being able to speak in a really clear way. So for me, it's, to really move from
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah, to be very clear.
Sounds great. Okay, so take a sip of your sacred water as you're thinking about your own intention of clear communication. Beautiful. Thank you, Annabelle. Okay, now all of us can pick up our dark chocolate or whatever we chose to bring. And we're going to hold each one of us, and there's a couple people that are going to be watching the replay. Diane's usually watching the replay. Brenda's usually watching the replay. A couple other people, Lupe might even watch the replay. She's usually here. So the people that are going to be watching it. Bonnie will probably watch it. So we're thinking about everyone here who's voiced their intentions, and the intention, say it out loud for yourself. If you're watching the replay right now, make sure that you drink the sacred water for your intention when you say it out loud. And now all of us are going to hold the intention for the entire group here. This, not just these 5 people right here, but as expanded out, everybody that comes in and watches. So we're going to now take it's like we're taking in the union of the group and the group intentions and holding space for that. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody that's here participating in this ceremony. We got to share, we got to journal, we got to think about things. So today our new moon in Leo from yesterday already moved into Virgo, but we're still working on it for the next couple of days. We are going to be in the Los Angeles area, on the West Coast, where we're gonna have the visible rise of the star Sirius at sunrise on the 11th. And then Una can find out, where hers is in her area. We've got Venus going into Libra. Venus loves being in Libra. It's a sign of relationship. And this is the goddess of love going into the sign of Libra. So this would be a really good, powerful time for our relationships, our love relationships. Aquarius full moon is happening on the 22nd. On the 23rd, that's a Sunday. We're going to meet on the 23rd, and we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius. And now we've got the sun's still going to be in Leo for like another few hours when this full moon happens in Aquarius. So we kind of get double full moons, double Aquarius full moons. So each year there's either 12 or 13 full moons, so they have to overlap signs. So some people call this a super moon, or some people call this a blue moon, but we're going to have another chance. So we already had one Aquarius full moon. Now we have a chance at another Aquarius full moon. So it's like super powerful. And then the alignments, it's going to line up with the star Regulus within a few hours of the full moon. The star Regulus is in Virgo right now, and it's going to line up with that. So there's anything that's happening at the time of the full moon in the sky, it makes the full moon more powerful. So, and that's a time where we release what's not working, and we adjust our intentions that we set today. The sun is going from Leo to Virgo on the 22nd of August. We're moving from fire sign Leo into earth sign Virgo. The upcoming classes, we are not going to be on Zoom. So don't just go hit the Zoom link next week, but do go to the Soul Portal Journey Sisterhood, because at 1 o'clock, keep refreshing that Facebook page, because this will appear, and there will be a link to the YouTube thing that I've already recorded with Bonnie Hutchinson. It is so good that it's amazing what she did. She did 2 really powerful meditations that she guided us into, and so you definitely want to check that out and listen to that. So we're not going to be live on Zoom, but there is going to be something for you that's going to be released at the exact time that this class usually takes place, at 1 p.m. So check that out. And if you can't check it out at 1 o'clock, it's still going to be there for at least a week. So check that out. It's amazing. Bonnie really works really well. She's worked with the people in groups creating a really good group energy. This is the moon ceremony I was talking about. And the question with this full moon is going to be reveal what has been hidden within you. So that'll be interesting, because a lot of us are connecting into things that we can't quite perceive yet, because they're just being conceived and we're not exactly sure exactly what it is. And by the full moon, we'll be able to see more clearly. These are some of the things that are coming up at the end of the month. We always do a soul portal card reading. We've got a Virgo new moon ceremony. We've got special guest Carrie Anderson, the energy of crystals, on the 13th. So everybody and their brother has to be here. Drag your friends, especially anybody that has a crystal in their house, tell them to come. And yeah, so this is our song. We're going to sing our song. So here we go. In this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace, I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. Okay, thank you, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Looking forward to seeing you again for the full moon, but there'll be something for you to listen to next week, 1 p.m.